This is the old rectory. It was built in 1762, over 250 years ago, when King George III was King of Great Britain, and before the Declaration of Independence had been declared, and in a world that was completely different to the one we currently live in. Back then, the two main seats of power were the Lord and the Minister, and their power was imposed upon the surrounding lands in the form of their dwelling places, the manor and the manse. This is evident with our own rectory. It is 8,000 square foot across 4 floors, with servants' quarters in both the attic and the basement. There are fireplaces and glass-paned windows in every room. The house is built on top of a hill with surrounding views. Considering that at that time, when the old rectory was built, people were considered fortunate if they had a stone floor, most had dirt. Many people died every year due to cold and damp conditions. Welcome to Ireland. Regardless of what we might now think about the opulence of local clergy, one thing is especially evident. As I walk down the cobblestone pathway towards the old coach house, and I gaze in through the windows of old houses which are long empty, I get the sense that this used to be a place of community and a place of sustenance. I explored some old historical maps, and I was amazed to see that what was currently an overgrown and neglected wilderness, which we call the orchard, was once a beautiful kitchen garden with intricate designs. After months of clearing, we eventually found the lines of original vegetable beds and the remains of a glasshouse. There is so much more to this place. There is so much more to the life that was lived here, not just by the minister and their family, but by the families that lived and worked the land, the gardens, as well as the house. Homes, jobs, and livelihoods were provided for, an aspect which I myself overlooked. The 19th century Enlightenment brought an end to the two seats of power. As capitalism gained traction and the middle class evolved, people no longer needed to stay anchored to the estates and church land. Other branches of Christianity emerged and grew, and evangelicalism was the largest contributor to the Enlightenment era thought. It is inconceivable that times would ever return to these old ways. However, I do not believe that all of the ways of the past should be shelved. In fact, I believe that our future depends on saving and using many of the things which are hidden in the past. So we bought the old rectory with hopes and plans of bringing it back to life. Not just the 4 walls, but the surroundings too. You see, there is a spiritual inheritance that has been forgotten because the good was cast aside with the bad, and now it is our task to reclaim what has been lost and put it back to use. That is why our work on the old rectory is not just a part of historical conservation, it is also theological. It is an old rectory after all. So here are some of the things that we are going to do and have done already at the old rectory. We have woodlands that we need to reclaim from years of onslaught by invasive species. Woodlands that have been drowned out and where no life has been allowed to develop beneath the canopy level. Majestic trees are in danger of being lost due to massive ivy growth. The historical orchard had but a small handful of extremely neglected fruit trees that were fighting for light against overgrown hedgerows and were virtually indistinguishable from being so entwined by brambles. Rhododendron was taking over. You couldn't see from one side of the orchard to the other. That has now changed. We have been planting new fruit trees and have been tending to the old ones. But next we want to restore the orchard gardens, beginning with establishing new vegetable beds, finding and discovering and rebuilding some of the old ones, and rebuilding the original glasshouse. Our goal is simple: to get this old rectory up and running again, just like it was, not just as a place for the church, a place of prayer and worship and study, which is so important, but also as a place where food is grown and where mouths can be fed and nourished. I hope you enjoy following us as we work to achieve this goal, God willing, and thank you for watching.